Let's evaluate your English vocabulary prowess, shall we? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 representing I know almost nothing and 10 being I'm a dictionary, where would you place yourself? Today, I'm excited to guide you through a vocabulary challenge featuring 12 words. We'll begin with some familiar terms and gradually progress to more advanced vocabulary that might even stump proficient English speakers. Are you up for the challenge? Let's dive in. To start, let's consider the relatively straightforward word reckon. Have you encountered it before? Here it is in a sentence. I reckon it's gonna rain soon. Familiar? Reckon is an informal verb akin to think or believe, commonly used in British English and in the southern USA. Deliberate. Deliberate can be an adjective or a verb. As an adjective, it describes something done consciously or intentionally, often with careful consideration. As a verb, it means to engage in careful thought or consideration. The spelling is the same, but the pronunciation is different. Pay close attention when you hear the examples. Here are some contexts in which deliberate might be used. Adjective. The deliberate choice of words in her speech showed her careful planning. The deliberate act of kindness from a stranger restored his faith in humanity. She made a deliberate effort to improve her work-life balance. Verb, they deliberated for hours before reaching a decision. The jury deliberated on the evidence presented to them. He deliberately avoided mentioning the sensitive topic during the conversation. In these examples, deliberate emphasizes intentionality and thoughtful consideration in actions or decisions. Next is elsewhere. The restaurant is fully booked. We'll have to go elsewhere. Essentially, elsewhere implies somewhere else. If you're looking for sympathy, you need to look elsewhere. This is a straightforward statement indicating that the speaker is not willing to provide sympathy or understanding. It suggests that the person seeking sympathy will not find it from the speaker and should seek it elsewhere. Here's an example of how it might be used in context. I understand you're going through a tough time, but if you're looking for sympathy, you need to look elsewhere. I've already told you my stance on the matter. Grab, for instance, someone just grabbed my bag and ran off with it. Grab means swiftly taking hold of something, often with force or colloquially, acquiring something quickly. It can also be used informally to mean to obtain something quickly or without hesitation. Here are some contexts in which grab might be used. He quickly grabbed his coat and rushed out the door. She grabbed the opportunity to study abroad when it arose. Can you grab me a bottle of water while you're at the store? In these examples, grab conveys the action of seizing or obtaining something swiftly or promptly. Urge is our fifth word. Pronounced with a distinct vowel sound, it means to strongly recommend or implore, as in, the government urged the public to remain calm. Urge is a verb that means to strongly encourage or persuade someone to do something. It can also be used as a noun to describe a strong desire or impulse. Here are some contexts in which urge might be used. I urge you to reconsider your decision before it's too late. She felt the urge to travel and explore new places. The doctor urged her patients to adopt healthier lifestyles. In these examples, urge conveys the idea of pushing someone to take action or expressing a strong inclination or desire. Number 6 is gig. Gig can refer to various things depending on the context, but commonly it means a live performance, especially one by a musician or comedian. Here are some contexts in which gig might be used. The band played a gig at the local bar last night. She has a gig as a stand-up comedian at the comedy club next weekend. They hired a jazz band for their wedding reception gig. In these examples, gig denotes a specific performance or engagement, often in the entertainment industry. Moving to cling, it means to hold on to something tightly, often out of fear or dependence. He always clings to his girlfriend's arm when they watch horror films together. Cling is a verb that means to hold on to something tightly, often out of fear or affection. It can also convey a sense of dependence or reluctance to let go. Here are some contexts in which cling might be used. The child clung to his mother's hand as they crossed the busy street. She clung to the hope that everything would turn out all right in the end. The wet clothes clung to her body after she fell into the pool. In these examples, cling illustrates the act of gripping or adhering firmly to something, both physically and emotionally. Gaslight is next, a term derived from a British play in the 1930s, referring to manipulating someone's memory or perception of events. It originates from the play and subsequent films titled Gaslight, where a character manipulates his wife into believing she is losing her mind. Gaslight is a term used to describe a form of manipulation where one person tries to make another person doubt their own perceptions, memories, or sanity. Here are some contexts in which gaslight might be used. She realized her partner was trying to gaslight her when he repeatedly denied things he had said or done. Gaslighting is a common tactic used by abusers to control and manipulate their victims. Politicians often use gaslighting techniques to deflect criticism and confuse the public about their actions. In these examples, gaslight illustrates the insidious nature of manipulation aimed at undermining someone's confidence and perception of reality. Ghost takes us to the realm of online communication, where it serves as a verb meaning to abruptly cease all contact with someone without explanation. We chatted online for over a year and then she completely ghosted me. If you ghost somebody, you suddenly stop all communication with someone without explanation. You simply disappear. Y was supposed to meet at the restaurant for lunch for our second date, but she ghosted me. She never showed up. We often use the term with online relationships, but you could also be ghosted by a friend or someone you're dating in person or real life. That sucks. Our 11th word is finicky, conveying fussiness or excessive attention to detail. It means picky. She's quite finicky about her coffee. It has to be brewed just right. The finicky cat refuses to eat anything but a specific brand of food. His finicky nature makes it difficult to find a restaurant he likes. In these examples, finicky conveys a sense of fussiness or pickiness, often making it challenging to please the person or meet their standards. Ableism is used to describe discrimination or prejudice against individuals with disabilities. It encompasses attitudes, beliefs, and practices that devalue and marginalize people based on their physical or mental abilities. Here are a few contexts in which ableism might be used. The company's hiring practices were criticized for their ableism, as they seemed to favor candidates without disabilities. Many people with disabilities face daily challenges due to ableism, such as inaccessible buildings and negative stereotypes. Advocates work to raise awareness about ableism in society and promote inclusivity and equal opportunities for all individuals, regardless of ability. In these examples, ableism highlights the systemic discrimination and societal barriers that people with disabilities encounter, aiming to address and combat such injustices. Nomophobia is used to describe the fear or anxiety of being without one's mobile phone or being unable to use it. Phobia means fear. It's a relatively modern term coined from no mobile phone phobia. Here are a few contexts in which nomophobia might be used. She experiences severe nomophobia and feels panicked if she forgets her phone at home. Nomophobia is becoming increasingly common among young adults who feel anxious when they can't check their phones. The reliance on smartphones has led to a rise in nomophobia, with many people feeling uneasy when separated from their devices. In these examples, nomophobia highlights the dependence on mobile phones and the anxiety or distress experienced when one is unable to access or use their device. That wraps up our vocabulary journey. How many of these words were familiar to you, and which one resonated most with you?